Good morning. This is the International Study Group. Today is August 1st, 2026. Today we're going to focus specifically on techniques. So, Jose, you're the only one here, so you get to have a class of one right now. Let's get started. As a business analyst, you want to specify the needs of a specific user and enable teams to define features of value to the user and written in a user's language. What technique would best serve the purpose? So if you want to specify the needs, you're in specified model requirements, right? That's the task
Yes,
you're in. So would
indeed.
you do prototyping, use cases and scenarios, user stories, or user specifications? Let's go ahead and eliminate one.
I would eliminate prototyping and user specification.
Okay. And the key to this is it's written in the user's language, needs of the user, enable the team to define features of value. Which one of those would it be?
I'm gonna say user stories.
And you're correct. It's used in specified model requirements tasks to specify requirements as a statement about what people do or need to do when using the solution. And the define the features of value would be the acceptance criteria. Good job. Okay, mind maps can be developed individually or as a collaboration exercise. What would be the most likely challenge in developing mind maps as a collaboration exercise? So, challenge in Babok terms, this word is going to mean what are the weaknesses or drawbacks of the technique? And we're talking about mind maps. So, a shared understanding of the mind map can be difficult to communicate. The team members may feel vulnerable sharing information to be captured in a fashion closely resembling how they're thinking, can be misused as a brainstorming tool, and the relating documenting of ideas and creating associations may inhibit idea generation, can be difficult to prepare and deliver presentations. What can we eliminate? It means three of these are true, one of these is not. I'm sorry, that's not what it means. What would be the most likely challenge? One of these is a challenge.
Most
So
likely
let's eliminate one that is not a challenge or doesn't apply.
can be difficult to prepare and deliver presentations.
Okay? And what do you think is the challenge for mind maps?
I will say C for Canada
It's
can be
testing.
misused.
It is a limitation, but not necessarily because of collaboration, as a
Okay.
collaboration exercise is part of the question. Because of collaboration, a shared understanding of a mind map can be difficult to communicate. It may be challenging to represent and synchronize the thought process of all participants in one diagram. One of my challenges with mind maps is you get, let's say, five people in a room and they create the mind map together. Those five people have a connection to it and they understand the logic and they understand the flow and they understand why things were put where they were put. But once you take that outside of those five people, other people are going to look at this and go, I see how some of these things are associated, but I don't get what y'all did here because they weren't involved in it. It didn't come out of them.
Okay.
So as a collaboration exercise, it's difficult, and then conveying it outside of the group, in my opinion, is difficult as well. Is that what you feel, Jose?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. Number three, Bankit has been asked to determine if a change solution or solution approach the company wants to pursue is worth investing in. She compares a certain calculation of one solution or solution approach to a minimum threshold that the organization expects to earn from its investments, called the hurdle rate. From the above information, which financial calculation is Megan using? Is that a return on investment, ROI, a internal rate of return, an expected hurdle rate, EHR, or net present value, NPV? Let's eliminate one.
The expected hurdle rate.
I think that must be made up.
Yeah,
Well, I don't know everything about finance, but I don't remember that one.
yeah.
So what do you think is the best answer?
Divided between net present value and return on investment. Net present value.
Look at this.
We're missing. Okay, the return of investments. Yeah.
I think so. Oh, I'm wrong. Internal rate of return.
Right.
So ROI makes comparison against potential investments. I think this is something we're going to have to look into more deeply. So look at 10.20. That's going to be financial analysis. It should tell you about both of those.
Okay.
Let's move on. An up-and-coming financial institution is comparing its customer relations performance with respect to its competitors to identify best practices. What technique is the institution using? Metrics and KPIs, brainstorming, vendor assessment, benchmarking, and market analysis. What can we
Uh,
eliminate?
bench, this one I will go directly for benchmarking and market analysis.
Okay, you're right. Anytime you compare what you do against other competitors or outside of organizations, it's going to be benchmarking. Which of the following is not one of the requirements of organizational modeling? Roles, interfaces, org charts, or standard box?
Work. I don't understand what they mean with standard box, but I will go as an answer with interfaces.
Okay. So the interfaces is the lines in between the boxes.
Okay, okay,
And it says there are some conventions that use org charts follow a box. There's no recognized standard. It doesn't say really it's roles and interfaces that you have.
okay, okay.
Which of the following is a limitation for using document analysis technique? So here's our technique. Document analysis is primarily helpful only in evaluating the current state. Documentation can be used as a point of reference to determine what is current and what has changed. Findings can be presented in formats that permit ease of review and reuse. Can be used as to validate the results of other requirement elicitation techniques. So, which one of these is not a limitation? Let's go with that.
D for Denmark.
Okay, so we know that this is a benefit, not a limitation. How about C?
Yes, that's also a benefit.
Okay, how about B?
Yes, also a benefit.
Okay, how about A?
Yes, the as is state. Yeah.
Okay, so which one of these is a limitation?
Document analysis is primarily helpful for evaluating the current state.
You're correct. It's listed as a limitation in document analysis. The reason for it is usually whenever we document something, life changes and the document stays the same. A business analyst wants to be sure that all the appropriate kinds of questions are are asked during domain expert interviews to define the requirements of a new accounts payment system. Which types of questions should be included? Open-ended and contextual, open-ended and limited choice, open-ended and closed, or direct and indirect?
Domain expert interviews. Open-ended and contextual.
Okay. So
Closed.
open-ended and closed questions are the only two types of questions that are included in the BABOK. So open-ended
Okay.
and closed would have been the right answer.
Okay. To avoid ambiguity. Okay.
You have decided to use the PERT estimating method for your BA activities because the sponsor is requiring a 95% confidence level. What is the formula for PERT? Is PERT optimistic, pessimistic, 4 times most likely divided by 6? Optimistic and pessimistic, 3 times most likely divided by 6? Optimistic, pessimistic, and most likely divided by 3? Optimistic times pessimistic divided by 6? Which one is the PERT formula?
Know that there is the optimistic and pessimistic, and the most likely, so I would eliminate D for Denmark. Optimistic and pessimistic divided by 3. These are not equal, so the answer is either A for Alabama or B for Bahamas.
Okay.
I honestly don't know which one, if it's 3 or 4, so I'm gonna go with 3, B for Bahamas.
Okay. Let's test it. It is 4. Optimistic 1, pessimistic 1, and then most likely times 4, and then all of it divided by 6. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 divided by 6.
Okay, okay.
That will help you remember it. Mary Jo is a BA who was assigned to a large project that included several work streams. Before long, requests and requirements were pouring in from all directions. Mary Jo requested that the BA be assigned to each work stream. The sponsor replied to the address the high priority items and get the rest when you can. What technique should Mary Jo leverage to execute the sponsor's guidance? So what technique would get you to address the high priority items and get to the rest when you can? Is that prioritization, backlog management, facilitation, or creative thinking?
It's either prioritization or backlog management.
Okay.
Technique, prioritization.
Which one of these is the name of the technique?
I know that backlog management is used by the not business analysis. Business analyst, it's the
It's used by the product owner.
product owner. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna go with
And
prioritization. No, it is backlog. Okay.
It's one component in
Okay.
backlog management. That is the technique called backlog management,
Okay. Okay.
and that's 10.2.
Okay. And backlog management uses prioritization. Okay.
Yes, it's one of the things you do in backlog management because you also have to talk about things that need to be grouped together, exchanges, things like that. Amber is modeling use cases and has identified an actor in a use case that participates but not has not initiated the use case. What is this actor known as? So remember use cases. If you map use cases, it's that box where the functions are in the box and then the actors on the outside, and you draw the lines to which box, which function they would participate in. They didn't initiate it, but they are participating in it. Is that a tertiary actor, a primary actor, secondary actor, or a participating actor?
Uh, I would say the primary is the one that initiates, the secondary is the one that participates.
Okay, let's check it. And you are correct. Primary and secondary actors are listed as elements in use cases and scenarios. Actors who participate in the use case as a supporting role are called secondary actors. Good reasoning. Deepak is a BA on a project that is already over budget and time constrained. In light of this, he decides to collect information from a group of people using the survey technique. The following are some of the reasons he would select the technique, but one of them is not the reason. So three of these are, one of these is not. Surveys are easier to collect information from a large audience than other techniques such as interviews. Quick and relatively inexpensive to administer, does not typically require significant time from respondents, or suitable for quantitative analysis. So let's start at the top. Is this a reason or not a reason?
It is a reason.
Okay. B
Yes, also reason.
and C.
Suitable for the C. It's the word typically that's throwing me off. I mean, yes,
Okay.
usually they just need to fill out some answers, but
Okay.
those questions can also be open-ended, so they can actually take time to think about it and respond.
Okay. And D.
Suitable for point of view. Yes, it gives us the percentages, the number of people who want the particular change, for example. So
Okay.
yeah,
So which one is not one of the reasons?
C for Canada.
Okay. And D. Survey technique is good for both quantitative and qualitative
Okay,
analysis. It's, the reason this was wrong is because it didn't give both. It
okay.
depends on what the objective of the survey is. In this case, we don't know the objective, so we don't know if they're doing quantitative. You work for a client-focused company that sells numerous products to a targeted customer segments. Which organizational model might best fit the company's needs? A functionally oriented model, a matrix model, a product-related model, or a market-oriented model? Let's eliminate one.
Those more progress. I would eliminate product and market. I am willing to go with matrix model.
Okay, let's test it. So because we sell products that are targeted to customer segments, we're going to be thinking about
Okay.
personas and demographics and things like that. We're market oriented. A matrix model has separate managers for each functional area for each product, service, and customer group. The model would depict reporting as well as market structures, but the question focuses on a market-oriented model. And that is going to be in the organizational modeling technique. Got it?
Yep. Yep.
Jose, I
Yep.
don't know that I can hear you any longer.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Oh, yes, now I can. Okay, good. Are you ready to move on?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
What are three key elements involved in all decision modeling approaches? Let's see. We've got outputs, inputs, or decision. Which one should we start with?
The inputs.
Okay, so these two have inputs. They both have information. This one has knowledge. This one has outputs.
Inputs, information outputs.
Okay.
No.
So the three key elements for decision modeling is what is the decision, what information do we have, and what knowledge do we need to gain?
Okay, the inputs, outputs will be more of a cyborg.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, okay.
Not for decision modeling. That's process. Whoa, it jumped on me. Let's see if I can get back in there. Zoom exam. Oh, looky there. Okay. Value attributes are the characteristics of a solution that determine or substantially influence its value for stakeholders. Three of the following statements are true about value attributes. Which one is not true? Value attributes represent the value proposition of a solution at the solution level. Basing acceptance and evaluation criteria on a value attribute ensures that they are valid and relevant to stakeholder needs and should be considered when accepting and evaluating the solution. Business analysts may design tools and instructions for performing the assessment as well as for recording and processing its results. Business analysts ensure that the definition of all value attributes are agreed upon by all stakeholders. So three of these are true, one of these is not. You want to start with what's true or what's not?
Which is not to develop not to really proposition of solution. The basic acceptance and evaluation criteria, the evaluations that are realized, the relevant acceptable elements should be considered. Okay, B for Bahamas is true. This analyst may design tools and is protein for performance assessment. For requirement something results. This is ensure that information available. I would say not true. They represent the value proposition. Represent the value proposition.
So,
Yes, I will go with that as an answer. These are mostly used with acceptance criteria.
okay, which number is your answer?
A for Alabama.
Okay, let's test it. And you're correct. Value attributes decompose the value proposition into its constituent parts, which are described as qualities of the solution versus a solution as a whole. Good job. Joni's preparing a doc and I'm sorry. Joni's preparing a document that justifies why the organization should invest in the proposed solution. In her documentation, she includes the evaluation criteria for the solution. What is the benefit for including the evaluation criteria? Evaluation criteria will better help the organization define its priorities. Evaluation criteria provides guidance for ongoing decision making throughout the initiative. Evaluation criteria may express contractual obligations and, as such, may be difficult to change for legal and political reasons. Evaluation criteria offers more to expected return on investment, which would support the recommendation.
Criteria. Return on investment. Is the benefit. I'll say the benefit is A for Alabama. It will help the organization define its priorities.
Okay, let's test it.
Mm,
The actual answer that is correct is evaluation criteria refers more to expected return on investment or ROI, which would support the recommendation. So the document that justifies why the organization should invest in a proposed solution would be your business case. And in it, she includes the evaluation criteria of that solution. So it's like, we're
Okay,
going to do this, and this is what we're going to get out of it, which is your ROI.
okay, okay.
16. Which of the following statements is not true regarding the benchmarking and market analysis techniques? Market analysis can help determine if partnering, merging, or divesting are viable alternatives for an enterprise. Market analysis can be time-consuming and expensive, and the results may not be immediately available. Benchmarking produces innovative solutions that produce sustainable competitive advantages. Benchmarking identifies why similar companies are successful and what processes they use to become successful. So 3 are true, 1 is not.
Okay. Okay, B for Bahamas is true. It can be time consuming.
This one.
Yes. Chance. Identify vaccine. Okay, D for Denmark is also true. Identify
Okay.
vaccine. I am not too sure about C for Canada. I mean, how does it produce this innovative solution when it's basically comparing with the competitors?
It doesn't seem right, does it?
Yeah,
If they're already doing it, how's it innovative?
yeah, yeah.
Let's test it. Benchmarking is not innovative. Benchmarking shows you tried and proven. And then the producing sustainable competitive advantage, they've been doing it for, say, 6 months or 5 years or something, and your company starts it. Are you ever going to be as good as they are with all their lessons learned and their
Yeah.
processes in place? You can take their ideas, but the change is always going to be painful. Ida is trying to identify and capture the business rules for a project she's currently working on. Which technique would best help her identify the stakeholders she needs to talk to about their existing rules? So, what technique would she identify stakeholders with? Is that a root cause analysis, item tracking, interviews, or business rules analysis?
Interface. Oh, this is
So interviews will help interact with specific
okay.
stakeholders to gain more information from them, but not specifically information about the business rules. Business rules analysis. This analysis does identify stakeholders who are the source of the business rules. So it's like,
Okay.
where did we get this from? Who owns it? What departments does it impact?
Yeah, yeah, I get it. I confuse the talk with their business talk about their business rules is the actual interview, but the technique is the analysis of those
Yep,
rules.
yep, you're right. A business analyst wants to model all the data stores, printers, forms, devices. In other words, everywhere data is displayed or shown. Which of the following data flow diagrams would accomplish that goal? Is this the physical data flow diagram, a context diagram, logical data flow diagram, or a data flow diagram that can only show where the data is stored, not shown? So let's start with D. Is this true?
Mm, no.
Okay, so we could eliminate it.
Uh, can also eliminate the context diagram. It shows the broad view of how the system operates.
That's correct.
The logical shows how data flows within the system, and
Hmm.
the physical shows how actual parts of the system interact with each other. So I would go with physical data flow.
Okay, and you're correct. You understand the different layers of data flow diagrams and going down into architecture diagrams. I had this the other day is, let's see, it's physical, logical, something else, and then at the enterprise level. I've forgotten the last two. No, I'm sorry, that's not true. It's contextual, physical, data, and then enterprise. I think the last one has a different name. Which of the following categories of non-functional requirements are a valid selection? So two of them have extensibility, no, extensibility or expendability. Is it either one of those?
Just categories of non-functional. Usability, security compliance.
Categories of non-functional requirements.
Not, I'm absolutely not certain about this one. Of non-functional requirements are a valid selection. Expandability, security compliance, localization, certification, reliability, extensibility, usability, performance, reliability, compliance, security, accuracy, security, accuracy. Categories of non-functional validation. Expandability, extensibility, scientific function. Okay, I'm leaning towards C for Canada or D for Denmark.
Okay.
Extensibility. Can the requirements be extended? Extended as in scaled up or down?
Let's test C and we'll see what the answer is. So performance reliability is a made-up phrase. This is these are all on the list of non-functional requirements. There's additional ones. So localization, certification, availability, and this is going to be in your non-functional requirements analysis task, number 30.
Okay, okay, okay.
Let's move forward. A lead business analyst is leading the project team in defining a solution approach by identifying opportunities to improve the business. Which technique would be most helpful in carrying out this activity? Identifying a solution approach, defining the solution approach, identifying opportunities to improve the business. Is this Six Sigma, interviews, brainstorming, or value stream mapping?
I will go to value stream mapping.
And it is
Brainstorm.
brainstorming. Value stream mapping is a process analysis method. The need is to identify solution options to improve the business. This is you're in kind of current state whenever you're doing value stream mapping. Brainstorming is technique intended to produce a broad or diverse set of options. They're defining the solution approach, trying to figure out what the
Okay,
options are.
okay, okay, okay. Yeah.
So you've identified your gap. How are we going to get from current state to future state? Well, come on. Next. I don't know that we can finish this one. Let's try again. Let me go previous and then next. It won't let me get to 21.
No, there's only 20.
Oh, well, that explains it. I don't know why there's only 20. They switched it on me. So submit exam and then view results.
Oh,
So we got 12 incorrect on this. But you know which techniques that you got incorrect answers on, so you can go study those.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I'm honestly surprised that it says that you got 12 incorrect. I didn't think it was that many.
yeah. Me neither.
Okay. Okay. Jose, is there anything I can do to help you with your application or anything else like that?
No, no, not at the moment. No, no.
Okay.
Can we go back to techniques again next week?
Yes. Yes. Let's do techniques again next week.
Okay, okay. We'll take the time this weekend because I have a bank holiday this Monday, and it
Good.
actually helps out in crunching up the studies. And I've already finished some other certifications, training. So
Wonderful. Congratulations.
yeah, thanks here. So yeah,
I want to encourage you, in case you were thinking you're going to study with the Watermark book, study with the Babok. It has all the information in it you need, and although Watermark has some good stuff in it, it's not thorough enough to rely on all by itself.
yeah, 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 definitely. I'm
I
gonna
mean,
use
for
Babok
technique
and
specifically.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
The techniques part of Babok and also the slides, the files that you sent us on
Yeah.
the what's the name? The Slack.
On Slack. Yes.
Yeah,
Okay,
definitely.
perfect. Okay, reach out to me on LinkedIn if you need to speak to me anytime, and
Okay, okay,
I'm most responsive there. I check my president email 3 times a week, maybe.
okay, okay,
Okay. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.
okay. Thanks to you. You too.
Okay, goodbye.
Thank you. Bye.